before we get to all of that, there is breaking news. So we're going to charge the mound a little bit early today, powered by Tisa, because we just learned some news that I think was pretty obvious, AJ. Clayton Kershaw is returning to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Physical is on Thursday, which actually makes sense because the Dodgers will be able to put players on the 60-day IL beginning on Thursday because their spring training camp begins later this week.
Yeah, it starts soon. Listen, this is a move. They're going to put him on the 60-day DL, but they wanted to lock him up. So they locked him up, and they're going to throw him on the 60-day DL, 2 days from now on Thursday?
Yeah, he's not back until second half.
Yeah, until he's ready. But this is the right move. You can't, as much as people talk about him going to the Rangers, he's got to be a Dodger for life. This is one of those guys that has to stay a Dodger. And I'm happy he's back. Clayton's a great dude, and he deserves to have a career with one team.
Did you think there was a chance, Kratz, that he would end up in Texas? No.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool idea, but I didn't see it happening. He did too well with LA, and two, who's to say? I mean, who have the Rangers spent on? Like, they're not just going to go out and get somebody that's not coming back till July. Like, I think it was far-fetched. I think it was a cool idea by whoever drummed it up in the media, but I don't think it was ever a thing.
Half their starting rotation is coming back in the second half of the season now when you talk about Texas. Yeah, it's Scherzer, it's Tyler Mahle, it's Jacob deGrom. And for the Dodgers, Adam, I mean, they could use Clayton Kershaw's innings in the second half of the season. I mean, I don't know how they'll feel about him in a postseason start. I mean, that's actually the last time we saw Clayton. Remember, the NLDS, 6 runs, right. 1 out. He's had his ups and downs in the playoffs. But last year, even despite the shoulder issue and the velocity down in the second half of the season, he put up a 2.46 ERA in 131 and 2/3 innings. Anyone would take that.
I mean, he still can put the ball where he wants to put it. That's still the uniqueness of Clayton. When he had the velocity, he just was, absolutely dominant. But I think you're going to get maybe his final greatest innings of his career. I don't know. That's up to him. That Texas thing, I mean, it sounded good to go home, play in front of your hometown fans. Yeah, they've seen him play enough. So I think it's picture perfect for him to return to the Dodgers, finish his career there, like AJ said, and come back in the second half and whatever he gives, I know he's going to give it his all. And you never know, it might be enough to to propel the Dodgers. It's like always look at those second half injury guys coming back as maybe that's the trade that you didn't think, or something, excitement when somebody comes back.
You feel any better about the Dodgers?
They
had another starter.
They had a starter that's not coming back till the second half. Yeah, but
he could eat up innings.
He can eat up innings when he's healthy. He was really good last year too.
Yeah,
let's not forget how good he was last year. But the question is, as always, for Clayton, can he do it in the postseason? And he didn't want that to be his last outing as a Dodger. What, a third of an inning and 6 runs or something crazy, which never happens. But he's, I think sometimes he gets an unfair rap. You guys probably tell me if I'm wrong here. He gets an unfair rap because he's had good games in the playoffs too. I know the Cardinals, when I was on them, we killed them twice. And he had a history of running into the Cardinals and getting whacked around. But other than that, they're not great, but they're not awful either.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and this might have been a different year, but wouldn't he get hit like in the 6th or something where you're like, hey, It's third time through. Almost nobody does this. And it was just kind of becoming more of a thing. And he was the guy where you're like, no, but he's got to go 7. And then, he'd be fine for 4 or 5 innings. And then all of a sudden he'd get smashed and he'd give up 3 to 5 runs. And you're like, what happened?
The 2 games we beat him were game 1 and game 4 and 14 in the DS. They were up 5 runs in the game 1. And it happened in the 6th inning, maybe, where he gave it up. And then the next, it was the 6th or 7th inning where Matt Adams hit a huge homer off of him in St. Louis to put us to the next round. But, yeah, you get May and Kershaw back, possibly. It's a pretty good – it's kind of like the Rangers getting deGrom, Scherzer, Mahle back. It's like a new trade deadline for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is like this – yeah, like you said, I remember when Fat Adams hit that home run. It was like the first home run he'd given up on a curveball against –
because we had his pitches.
Really?
No, just kidding. But that's what everyone thought.
Don't say that.
That's what everyone thought. No, we didn't have shit. It was his first – if it was, then you would have hit a curveball well before that. Like, it was unlucky, but – thinking about all this, do you think Clayton Kershaw is the reason the Dodgers don't ever let any starters? Because Clayton Kershaw will be the best left-handed pitcher of our generation.
Sorry, CC, but he's going to be the best one. And
CC.
Maybe ever.
Say what? Ever?
Maybe.
He's got. I mean, I can't answer to that right now. But if he can't go into the seventh inning, if he can't go into the third or fourth time through, who's like? How are we going to even trust Bobby Miller to do it? So do you think Clayton Kershaw created this? Like, hey, this happened to Clayton. We can't let anybody else let this happen.
I think it's just what most teams do nowadays.
I know, but
I think that's a good point, though. It started in like 15, 16, where it was like, yeah, trouble in the first. He threw 2-0 to the leadoff hitter. We got to warm somebody up. It's changed. You're right.
Panic at the disco.
Panic at the disco. Here's the question, AJ, if you're the manager of the Dodgers and you get to playoff time and most of their rotation is intact and they are performing the way they usually perform, right? Talking about a Walker Buehler, a Bobby Miller, let's say Yamamoto's really good. Are you letting Clayton Kershaw start a playoff game for you?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to. Reputation, but...
You have to?
Dude, can you imagine that conversation? Just honest conversation. You're Dave Roberts. Okay. We're going to go Glasnow, Yamamoto, Miller, Buehler. Oh, by the way, Clayton, because he's not going to be a reliever. Clayton, guess what? You're not starting. You're not even going to be on the roster.
So who are you booting from that group if they're all good?
That's the problem. Just imagine. I just want you to play Dave. You love role play, Scott. Play Dave Roberts. I'm Clayton Kershaw.
Dave Roberts actually is a stud manager, and I'll tell you why. He has managed so many, not just personalities, but different talents, and for the most part, created success in the regular season when players on other teams would have been bitching that they're not getting enough playing time. Correct, Kratz? I mean, he's had to manage some pretty tough spots sometimes. And by tough, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but you know how it is. There's players on certain teams or they're approaching free agency and they'd be like, screw this. I'm sitting again. He had to deal with more of the platoon BS when Farhan Zaidi was there. A little bit of that went away with this squad that obviously is going to play guys like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman every single day. And Ohtani's going to play every day for them for the most part in the DH spot. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like you still have to manage that. There are really talented teams that underperform. And the Dodgers in the regular season, for the most part, don't underperform.
They don't underperform, but that is what being a manager now is. Communication station. You have to talk to your players. Like you can't sit there and be like, well, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to take you out in the sixth inning or not. He's always been praised by his players about communication. But back to the whole like Clayton Kershaw thing, he had a 2.2 ERA. He had a 2.2. If he's not starting game one, you're just flipping a coin. Well, he hasn't been good in the playoffs. Then that's like saying, oh, well, Mookie and Freddie are going to hit 6th and 7th next year when we make the playoffs. No way. No way. A 2.2.
Yeah. He was good in the regular season last year. There's no doubt about it. He's been good his whole career in the regular season. He got his World Series, though, in 2020. I mean, he's done everything. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame guy. I mean, and he deserves to stay in one station. So, I don't know. I'm happy for Clayton. I'm happy for the Dodgers. I'm happy for Dodgers fans. Yes. And now we can stop talking about the bullshit him going to Texas, at least for one more year.
Can it? We'll bring it up again next year, okay?
You will.
What kind of contract do you give Clayton Kershaw?
Whatever he wants.
Yep. $15 million.
You know what he made last year?
18, 20.
$20 million.
20.
So they probably got him the same thing.
Probably.
Actually, you know what? I say they might have given him a little less.
Yeah, well, he's only pitching for.
Yeah.
He might come back in August. I mean, I've heard late July is the earliest. So he might be back in August. Million? He might not be back at all. You don't know. He's coming back from shoulder surgery. He's got a lot of mileage on the arm. You never know.
How do we not have these? Normally we have these things right away.
Well, it just broke.
But still, normally, I mean, it's like just broke. 30 seconds later on Twitter, it's like, oh, here's the contract.
Everything unravels.
You're like, damn, how did they get it that fast?
Yes.
I mean, yesterday with the Bobby Witt, it's like just broke. Literally 2 minutes later, you guys are like, I wonder what the details are. I'm like, well, here they are. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
How do they know that?
I've seen a few deals, though, that have taken a little bit longer. A few deals. I'm not in terms of getting the deals done, but finding out what the money is.
I'm going to say $12 million.
12 guaranteed?
12 guaranteed.
Okay.
He's got to pass his physical this Thursday.
That's such eyewash.
Can you imagine if the Dodgers fail his physical?
It's such eyewash. Why did somebody, whoever tweeted that, -1?
Well,
yeah, but you have to say that
he has to do it because they have to make him pass on Thursday so he can go on the 60-day.
Right, so they can say, he needs to go on the
because
IL.
if they announce it today, then
they need to clear a roster spot.
Yes.
So he'll join Gonsolin and Dustin May.
Yes.
On the 60-day right away.
Oh, man.
All right, so congratulations.
When's Gonsolin coming back? He's missing the whole year, Gonsolin? Didn't he have
May's coming back.
Didn't he have Tommy Jonas?
Yeah.
He got hurt late, though.
Yeah, so my guess is no Catman until the next year.
Mm.
But I got to double check that. I mean, it was late August.
Yeah.
And apparently he had that tear for months before that.
I'm going to say I'm not a doctor.
No, I don't.
I'm going to say no. Yeah. So anyway, congrats to Clayton and the Dodgers.
And Dodger fans.
And Dodger fans.
That's the biggest thing we
need
to
baseball.
Say. And baseball. But congratulations to Dodger fans. Right? There's something to be said for a guy staying in a place his entire career. And this is one of those guys that needs to do it. And so I'm happy that he's not going anywhere else, at least for this year. So rock on, Clayton.
35,000 coming to Dodgers Fest. And they paid to get in this year. So Dodger fans are living the real life.
Yeah.